Hello everyone, welcome back to SQL tutorial series. In our previous videos, we learned about SQL DDL and DML commands. Today we'll learn one of the most important database concepts, that is database constraints. Constraints are rules that ensure only valid and accurate data is stored in the database. By the end of this video, you'll be able to implement all major SQL constraints with practical SQL examples. So let's get started. What are constraints? Imagine a college database where we will be having a table in which there are two attributes, roll number and name of the student. If students are allowed to enter anything in this database, someone may leave the roll number empty or duplicate the roll number or even enter negative marks. This makes our database inconsistent. That's where constraints help. Constraints are rules enforced on database columns to maintain data accuracy, data consistency, data integrity. So think of constraints as security guards for your database. SQL provides several types of database constraints. Today we'll study each one with the suitable examples. So the type of database constraints include not null constraint, unique constraint, primary key constraint, foreign key constraint, check constraint, and default constraint. We'll start with the not null constraint. This type of constraint ensures that a column cannot contain null values. So let us consider the example of student database. Here, name, every student must have name and it cannot be null. So let us create the table student. So we will type the query to create the table. This is the create command, create table student. Two attributes, roll number and name we are taking. I will try to run this query and let us see whether table is created or not here. So table student created, and here you will get to see the different fields or attributes in the table that we have taken. Now let us try to insert some data in this table. So we'll type insert into student and then values we need to provide. Now we will run this command and let us see what output we'll get. One row inserted. Now we can check with the select command whether the data is entered into the table or not. So we will display the contents of the table student. Here these are the contents or records, those are entered into the table. Now let us try another insert command. Here instead of name we will have null and we will try to run. So here we'll get an error. What it says, cannot insert null into the particular student. Why? Because while creating the particular table for name we have taken not null constraint. So the name field in the table cannot be null. Then next type of constraint is unique constraint. Let us consider the example of student table again. The unique constraint prevents duplicate values. Suppose every student has unique roll number in the class. So this is nothing but a syntax how we can represent this unique constraint for the roll number attribute. Now we'll try to execute this command with Oracle Live SQL. So here we will have that command, that is create table student, roll number is attribute, data type, and then unique we are mentioning. I will just run this. So the table student created. Now we will try to insert the data inside this table with this command. I will run this command. So one row inserted. I will check with the select command. So we'll be able to see the table here, one record inserted. Now again I will try to insert one more record. I will just copy this, insert, and I will change the name Samir, and whenever I will run this, let us see what output will get. So what it is saying, row with column values already exist. So why this is happening? As we have declared that particular roll number as a unique, so we are not able to again include that particular value for the given variable. It says that your unique constraint is violated here because duplicate roll numbers are not allowed in the same class. Then next type of constraint is a primary key constraint. Primary key is one of the most important constraint. A primary key must be unique and cannot be null. Every table should ideally have one primary key. So let us consider this table of student and the respective command for creating the table. So create table student roll number, and we provide primary key here for the roll number. As in student table, so every student will be having unique roll number and that should not be null. We will now try to execute this command. Here we have this command, create table student roll number of data type number, and then primary key we are having here for this attribute. I will just try to execute this. We'll see what output we'll get. So table student created successfully. Now we'll try to insert the records. So this is our insert command. I will run. So one row inserted successfully. I will display the table with this command. So we'll see this is the record inserted. Now we will try to insert one more record, and the primary key that we have set, that is roll number, we will keep as it is, and I will enter some different name here. So run this query. Let us see what output will get. Again it is saying that unique constraint violated on the table and row with column values 101 already exist. So that is due to the primary key constraint that we have applied on the given attribute. The next type of constraint is foreign key constraint. So foreign key creates relationship between two different tables. So here we are having department table and student table. So every student belongs to the department. So that's why we have first of all created department table, and we need to show the relationship between the student and the department table. So the common attribute we need to select, that is department ID. Let us now create the department table first. So this is our department table, create table department. We have taken two attributes, department ID of data type number, and we have set it as a primary key, and second attribute is a department name of type varchar 2. Let us now create our second table, that is student table. So in student table we are having roll number as an attribute, which is primary key, name, department ID, which is of data type number, and we are saying that our foreign key is a department ID here, and we are providing references also for department table and department ID from that table. So here we have created our both the tables, department as well as student. Now we will try to insert into department table values, like the department ID as 1 and name of the department is a computer. I will run this query. So it shows one row inserted. Now let us try to insert into the student table. So here insert into student values. 101 is a student ID, Amit is name of the student, and this is your foreign key, that is it indicates the department of the student. Let us try to run the query. So it shows one row inserted into student table. Let us try to insert one more record into student table with the values 102 as a student ID, Rahul as a name, and 5 as a department. We'll see what will happen when we fire this query. So it throws the error, that is integrity constraint violated, parent key not found. So the department with ID 5 doesn't exist. That's why it is showing the error. So in this way foreign key prevents the invalid references. Next type of constraint is a check constraint. Check constraint validates data according to a condition. Let us consider example like marks should always be between 0 and 100. Consider the table result here with roll number as the first data and marks as the second data. For marks we can apply this check constraint where the value of mark should always be between 0 to 100. Let us try to create the table result. So here I will run the query. We have created this result table here. Now let us try to insert the records in the table. Once we run, one row get inserted. So this will get executed successfully. One more record we will try, and here I will enter the value of marks as 120 and again try to insert. So here we'll get an error like check constraint violated. So this insert operation got rejected. One more we will try. We'll try to have negative value, that is less than 0. Try to insert, and again we got an error, check constraint violated. Next, default constraint. This constraint automatically inserts a value if no value is provided. For example, country, if we do not provide any value, then default value will be India. So this is the example of customer table here. Customer ID we are using, which is primary key, name we are using, and then country field. So if customer does not enter any value, then default value will be India with the help of this default constraint. Let us try to create the table customer here. So this is the query, and I will try to run the query. So table created here. Now try to insert the records. So we are providing value of customer ID and name here, but not providing value for country. We will try to run, and one row inserted. Let us see. By default value we got for country is India. So in this video we have understood a different type of constraints and how those can be implemented on the table. We have seen not null constraint, which will be no empty value, unique constraint, no duplicate values, primary key that will be unique and not null, foreign key, relationship between tables, check constraint will validate the condition, and default, it will assign a default value if none is provided. Using these constraints together helps ensure data integrity and reliability in every database application. So let us stop here. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. In the next video, we will explore SQL queries with more advanced examples and database operations. Thanks for watching and happy learning.